Today is Wednesday, Parashat Ekev. The parasha of this week includes in it Birkat Hamazon, V'achalta, V'savata, U'berachta. That's the mitzvah of saying a bracha after a person eats bread. But also, it includes in it a pasuk that tells us of the 7 fruits that the land of Israel was blessed with. It's Eretz Chita, Us'ora, Vegefen, Ut'ena, Verimon, Eretz Zetshemen, Udvash. Which means a land, Chita, wheat, Us'ora, and barley, Vegefen, grapes, Ut'ena, figs, Verimon, and pomegranates, Eretz Zetshemen, a land of olives, Udvash, and honey, referring to dates. So we have here the 7 fruits, or actually 5 fruits and the 2 grains, wheat and barley, that the land of Israel was blessed with. If a person ate one of these 7 types of food, the bracha after it is Birkat Me'en Shalosh, similar to Birkat Mazon. It's a short version of Birkat Mazon. It's called Me'en Shalosh, Shalosh, which means 3 blessings, which are the main 3 blessings out of the 4 blessings of Birkat Mazon. And this is a short version of it. It's ala mihya ve'ala kalkala, or ala gefen ve'al periya gefen, or ala etz ve'al periya etz. And these 7 fruits, we give them preference. If you have, let's say, a table with various types of fruits, typically we would give preference to one of the fruits from the land of Israel. And there's another opinion. Rambam says you give preference to the fruit that you desire the most to eat, that is something that you like the most. But many other poskim hold that you give always to the fruits of the land of Israel, and within those fruits of the land of Israel, let's say you had on the same table, you had grapes and figs and pomegranates and olives and dates. All of them are listed in this pasuk. Which one do you give preference to say the bracha of Borei Periya Etz, to include all the other fruits that grow on a tree? Well, here we go by the fruit that is closest to the word Eretz, land. So the one that is closest to the word Eretz is olives. So olive is number 1. If you have no olives there, but you have the other 4 fruits, then the next one will be the dates, because that's number 2 next to the word Eretz. Then after that will be grapes, because that's the 3rd spot next to the word Eretz, because it says Eretz Chita, Us'ora ve'gefen. Gefen is grapes. And then after grapes come figs, and after figs comes pomegranates. One of my students once gave me a great way to remember which do you give preference to, and based on the number of pits in that fruit. The olive has 1 pit, so that's number 1. The date has a pit that is sort of split up in half, so that's 2. The grapes have 3, 4 seeds, so that's more seeds, that's number 3. Figs has more seeds than grape, that's number 4. And finally, the pomegranates has a multitude of seeds. We say they have 613 seeds. Pomegranates meaning like multitudes of seeds, and that would be number 5. So that's olive would be the first, then dates, then grapes, then figs, then pomegranates. That is the order that you give preference to if you were to say bracha on one fruit from a tree, and include all the others. Now, since we mentioned brachot, let's say you have on a table fruits and vegetables, and you have some wine also on the table, and you have some pastries. What do you start the bracha with? So the order is first mezonot. That's if you have pastries or cake, you would say first mezonot on that. Then gefen. If you have some wine or grape juice, you would say borei periya gefen. Then after that, you would say Eitz, Borei Periya Eitz. Let's say you have some fruits, that will be the next one. After that will be Adama. Adama, if you had some strawberries or some potato chips, or certain things that have to do with Adama, that would be the next one. And finally, She'akol. If you had, let's say, some fish or some eggs, that the bracha is She'akol, that would be the last one. And there's an acronym that was made for it, Maga Esh, Mem Gimel Ayin, Aleph Shin, which means mezonot, then Gefen, then Etz, then Adama, then She'akol. And that's the order, to make sure to say it in that order, because we would give preference first to the pastries, or to, let's say, if you had a boreka, so that's number one. Then afterwards would be the Gefen, then again, Bore Peria Etz, then Bore Peria Adama, and then She'akol Niya Bidvaro. And that's the order to make them in. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen.